Audition for Zack Snyder's Justice League, take one.
Oh, wow. It just vanished, huh? That's rude.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop. I need you to stop right now.
It's good, but we're looking for better.
Well, I can be better.
We are looking for funny.
Funny? Hey, come on. I can be funny. Okay, I can be funny. Okay?
We're really looking for a goofy kind of superhero.
Goofy? Goofy. Guys, I can be goofy. Hello? I can clearly be goofy.
You know, you're not the right person for this role. I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to reject you, and you're gonna have to go back to line with everybody else.
Come on, guys, don't be like that. You gotta give me a shot. I know I'm right for something, okay? I mean, if it's not for this one, it's gotta be for something else, okay? Please, just give me another shot. Please. I know I can do it. Just give me another shot. Please, pretty, please. I know I can do it. Just one more shot. One more.
What do you think? Think we should try at least give him a shot?
Sure, let's go for it. Why not?
It can't be any worse than for this role.
Exactly.
Yes! Oh, you won't regret this next audition. I live, I love, I slay, and I am content.
Dude, it's not even Aquaman, it's Conan.
I mean, it's Jason Momoa. I mean, it's all the same anyways. I mean, Conan, Aquaman, the guy does the same shtick all the time. I mean, regardless, I mean, look. I do have the six-pack, though. Right?
Dude, it's a 2-pack.
Yeah, it looks more like a half a dozen from Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
I mean, it is a fake six-pack, but, I mean, I'm sure Jason Momoa doesn't work out all the time. I mean, regardless, guys. I mean, come on. I'm pretty good for the role, right? I mean, I'm hunky. I clearly look the part. I'm badass. I can do the action. I mean, I can't swim, but nobody's perfect.
Alright, look here, son. You're trying to go for one of the major roles in this film. There are so many reasons why you're not going to get this role. For one thing, you're too short. Even with the costume, you're not going to look right. And for your acting, it's not great. You know, we need somebody who knows what they're doing. You're just phoning it in. I mean, really.
Well, if I'm not perfect for this, maybe Wonder Woman?
Hell no! No. What we mean is, we already have someone for Wonder Woman.
She's perfect for the role.
Absolutely.
She actually looks like Wonder Woman.
Yep.
I need this. I really do. Haven't you ever wanted to be somebody? Haven't you ever had a dream about being important? About having a goal? About achieving something in life greater than yourself? Haven't you ever wanted to make something of your life? Be the best at something? Didn't you ever want to be somebody in this world? Haven't you?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was a good one.
Can you believe this audition? I mean, really? This guy is just doesn't have the chops for acting.
He's just not good enough.
He's like one of those
He just-
reject B movie actors.
He just doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, he's like a stalker for
Yeah,
roles.
he's done.
Come on, guys. Is there anything that I can do for this? Seriously, I want to be a part of this. I really do.
Can we possibly get this guy just to shut him up?
Good job.
Like what?
Janitor, maybe?
Janitor? Cleaning trailers?
Well, he's just talk about the movie and, you know, he sits in the corner while we interview the rest of the cast.
Sure. Sure.
Get him out of our way.
Oh! You guys will not regret this. You so will not regret this. I am great at talking about movies. Okay, that's like the one thing I'm like super great at.
He's not getting paid, though.
He says we're ever gonna pay him.
True.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I don't need to get paid as long as I get to, you know, stroke Henry Cavill's mustache. That'll totally be worth it. Welcome, everybody, to our official review for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes, we have finally watched it. It's on HBO Max, the 4-hour mega Justice League cut. We watched it. We are going to give you a full-on spoiler review, guys. So if you have not seen it, stop now.
Sucks to be them.
Watch the 4-hour cut and then come back and listen to our full thoughts. Now, before we officially dive into this, guys, we all saw it together. Justice League. When it came out, like
2017.
2 or 3 years ago. Somewhere, yeah, like 3,
Wow,
yeah.
that long.
And so, when we saw
It
it,
took him so long.
well, yeah, I mean, but for us, and I think you would agree, John, is that, I mean, we were hyped because it was a Justice League movie, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody
Yes.
was in it.
Big Justice
Big
League fan.
mega movie. But what you have to remember, guys, is that those cut that we saw 3 or so years back was not the Zack Snyder cut. It was
diminished version.
It was a diminished version, half kind of directed by Zack Snyder and the other half directed by Joss Whedon. And so when we watched it, we enjoyed it for what it was, right? I mean, we did.
Well,
No.
that's all we can is...
I mean, we liked some of it and some of it we didn't like, but I think you would agree that we kind of felt it was a little maybe disjointed and it wasn't exactly the cut that we maybe
tell was kind of pieced together.
And
Well, you know the problem we had when we were watching this compared to like the Marvel with the Avengers is we got the whole group, you know.
yes, I mean
Like origin. in a
And
sense.
here's the thing about it, though, is that we later learned about everything that happened with Zack Snyder, the fact of the death in his family, the idea that he had to leave the project, that they never brought him back on, that they replaced him with Joss Whedon. And there was always this, I guess there was always this sort of out there theory that Zack Snyder had filmed enough scenes that he could have made his own director's cut. And that he had filmed enough of it. Yes, the CGI was not fully done yet at that point, but there was enough of it done that he could assemble his own cut. And then there was this whole, like, you know, release the Zack Snyder cut, and there was this whole movement, and
It took forever.
I mean, yes, the movement was kind of toxic a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, as far as like fandom is concerned.
Oh, jeez.
But
It's all over the place.
well, yeah. But that being said, it actually succeeded, and we got the Zack Snyder cut.
4 years later.
Yes.
Who knows? We didn't know that was going to happen.
No, we didn't know. We didn't know.
No.
We didn't know at all. So, in context, this is actually an interesting thing because, Bob, as far as you and I are concerned, and even you, John, we've seen a lot of director's cuts. We have dived into a
that's very
lot
true.
of director's cuts. And
Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some are like, eh.
I'm just going to say it right off the bat. There is no director's cut like this director's cut.
Yeah, 'cause
I mean,
it's almost twice the size of their other movie.
not only that, but it's a whole different movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even the same film practically.
Yeah, it changed, like, I would say, what would you guys say, about 80-85% of the movie was changed?
Yeah,
All the
at
extra
least.
stuff?
Yes.
I mean, I think the beginning of the movie was majority the same.
I mean,
It
there's
had to
some
have
scenes
been.
that are, like, almost, pretty much identical.
They were
Yeah.
And there's
identical,
stuff
but
that
they
are
extended
But they
them.
extended them, and
I mean, so some of them work. A few of them work. Not all of them. But
Yeah, some were long, like
some
too long.
too long. But I guess let's really dive into this now. I mean, where do you guys want to start with the Zack Snyder Justice League cut? Where would you guys like to begin and dive into this, man?
Question.
you always just start from the beginning.
I would
and go
say from the
forward.
beginning.
Okay,
and
I mean,
just
That's
and
pretty much all you can do.
and-
even
and-
from the
dove in this
beginning.
before the beginning because I thought the beginning was kind of the same.
actually, it was quite different because at the beginning, because I ended up actually, guys.
I haven't seen. It's
Yeah, it's
these-
all fuzzy. I mean,
these-
like
all
I said,
fuzzy.
it's like almost 3 years
Joss
ago.
Whedon Justice League cut. I recently watched it again just to refresh my memory, right?
yeah.
And now the opening scene in this is actually a scene where Superman is saving somebody and he's on a cell phone camera or something, and just about being a hero and everything like that, and the terrible mustache CGI
Yeah.
shit, which
Yeah.
oh my god was so
We'll start
terrible.
with that.
Whereas with the Zack Snyder cut, actually, is that he's
Scenes from Batman versus
yes,
Superman.
he's actually kind of like crying out because he's dying, and
Yeah,
and
like
the
his
death
final
actually
moments.
Okay.
reenacts the mother boxes. And so it's a very different scene. It's a very Zack Snyder scene, I would say, man.
I mean, I will say this: I did like the slow motion of what they were doing with it.
Yes, like he was like like that, and I loved it. I love that because for me, it reminds you of what happened in BVS, and it also sets up the idea with the mother boxes and how now they're activated because Superman
Yeah,
is.
they were just waiting for the signal because he was pretty much the biggest threat that they had.
Yes, and so now they were waiting to be reactivated, and now we're off and running. And so, outside of that, right? Outside of that scene being quite different, I think you have a lot of the same similar stuff here, but slightly tweaked. Whether it's Bruce Wayne going to see Aquaman, which there's slightly different dialogue, whether it's the bank scene with Wonder Woman, which is slightly different and more extended as
Bigger
well.
fight scene for that.
It's a bigger fight scene. You also have a completely different scene with Flash, where Flash is trying to get a job, and of course this woman is going to get run over by this
That was a
truck.
long
I think
part.
that character was supposed to be Iris.
Iris.
I believe it was
Well,
supposed to be
maybe
Iris. Let's hope maybe she's going to be in the Flash movie. Let's hope at least.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're already getting differences very early on
That and the
in
Lois Lane stuff too.
and the Lois Lane stuff as well, which is different. And I'm kind of curious early on, John, what were your thoughts? I mean, obviously the differences, the extended scenes. I mean, early on.
I haven't watched the first Justice League in a while.
Okay, fair enough.
So to me, I'm not saying it was a blur, but I just didn't remember a lot from the first one.
Okay, so this was a whole
It was
new
a whole.
experience.
I watched it a few times or so. I didn't
Sure.
mind the first one. I just have issues with certain parts, but this one was just like full on, mostly different to me.
Yes, this was a
So
completely
it
different
was
thing.
like it was obviously 4 hours and it was long.
It was long.
It might be. It's something that I have to watch again
Well,
because it was just so much indulge. I've never watched a 4-hour movie before.
oh my God, I think
So it's like-
you and I have come damn close. I will say that
I mean,
much.
We're gonna
actually,
say the Lord of the Ring film.
Actually,
Lord
I
of the
take
Rings.
that back.
Yeah.
I did see some of Lord of the Rings years ago.
Okay.
And I can't remember if that was 3.5 or 4.
It
I,
was-
That
don't,
was the extended cut.
I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah.
It was a little it was a DVD box set that I was given, and I'll be quite honest, I barely made it through those.
Okay.
And
I mean,
this, I made it through, but
Well, when I
It
heard
was
there
just
gonna
so
be
much. I don't know. I
well,
mean,
when you told me it was gonna be a 4-hour movie, I'm like,
What did you
I
What did you think? Like when I say to you guys, when I say, oh, 4 hours,
too long.
like do you
I mean, it's got to keep me gripped. It's got to keep me interested.
Yeah, I totally
There
agree.
were certain character, like I said, like we said, like stuff with like the Lois Lane stuff. I understand, you know, you want to show her grieving. She's trying to live her
They
life,
showed
trying
every
to
little
move
thing.
on.
I thought.
And they hinted toward future possible movie for her. You know, something with her character.
I think the interesting thing with me early on with this cut was I was very much focused on what the differences were. What the differences were
You can pretty
between
much notice most of
and
them.
you can notice most of
Yeah,
them,
oh, yeah.
whether it's a line of dialogue that's changed or whether whole scenes are completely different. The thing about it, and Zack Snyder has actually said this. I don't know whether it's true or not, but he said he has never seen the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League. He's never seen it. So it's kind of
That's interesting though.
that's interesting because
Considering how much of a part he made into that version before he had to leave.
yeah, so it's kind of fascinating to know that he's never seen the cut, and so he's assembling it with some of the footage that he knows Joss Whedon directed. But most of the stuff, I have to admit, that is in this cut is Zack Snyder. It's Zack Snyder stuff. I mean,
Tell the difference.
there's a lot of stuff here that was cut out from the Joss Whedon cut. You could tell that the majority of the Joss Whedon stuff is gone. And, you know, is it a good thing or a bad
I
thing?
could understand if they were to do like a part 1 and part 2 and have all this stuff in there already.
Yeah, I would too. But I guess it ultimately depends on your point of view.
The problem is it's such a big movie and you got such a limited
There's
amount
so-
of time to put
Yeah, but
stuff
there's so
in
much
there.
going on at once.
Yeah. They had
You know
to
what I'm
cut
saying?
stuff
It's
out
just,
to make it work.
it's just, they are extending scenes, but for me, man, boy, did they extend them.
Some of them
Okay, so you
I
really
thought
don't
they
think you
extended.
needed them.
I thought they were too long.
Okay,
I
they
mean, that's not what I think, but
Shorter bit.
yeah, like you said earlier, but it's got to keep me interested in it.
yes.
And I'm not
yes.
gonna lie, I was
Some of them
kind
I
of,
was starting to like.
I was
nod
starting to
off.
fade because I thought like some of his scenes where there were slow motion scenes.
Yes.
For me, it was like super long. I mean, I'm going like,
And there-
is this just extended to make this a long movie?
I mean,
Like
a
all
lot
these,
of the character scenes you,
know-
could have cut like literally
you know,
in half. You
yeah,
know,
like there was they did an extended version of I was gonna say Cyclops.
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Cyborg, yes.
Cyborg, I thought was probably like 15 minutes long, or even longer. If I think about it, like I said, I only seen it once.
At least a half an
It
hour.
was long. It was
least
like
a
his whole
fourth of
life.
the
It
film.
was basically from a little kid, and I understand that.
Yes. I see where you're coming from, John, about Cyborg, and I don't disagree with you in some ways, but I mean, you have to admit that in that original Zack Snyder Justice League cut, he got shortchanged. You have to at least acknowledge that,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
That-
you
Well,
really
the guy got
can't
yeah.
shortchanged, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, he did, right? I mean,
I mean,
I'm
I
not
don't
wrong.
mind a minor increase of his origin story here, but they took like almost a quarter of the film to do it.
It seemed like a half hours to me.
Or not quarter,
But-
but more like an eighth of the film.
I guess let me ask you this, right?
Mhm.
What would you rather take
Mhm.
for a character? Would you rather take something like what they did here, which was shortchange the character, barely give them anything to do, and not really get to know them, or do what they did here in the Zack Snyder cut?
I would prefer to what they did in the Snyder Cut, but
Okay,
shorter.
shorter.
I thought it was like it felt like a half hour to me.
Okay,
I might be
so-
wrong.
Okay, so
But
what
it-
would you
it felt
take out?
long.
What would you take out?
I would have had Green Lantern in it.
Oh, okay. I mean,
that's me,
sure.
but-
I mean, sure.
I would have took out Cyborg and put Green Lantern or
Well, but since we
Like-
didn't get that,
no, I understand.
I mean, where
But
where
that's
would
what I
you?
would've done.
Okay, sure, but what would you have taken out with Cyborg's origin?
Just cut it in half.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I
Sure.
would
I
have
would
done.
have cut down the scenes with him and his father. We know they have a bad relationship.
You
because of
already
what he did
you knew
to
you
him,
knew
but-
that from the first film.
Yeah.
I understand it's two different films,
It is, and you
But-
got to treat it like that.
but there was also scenes in it that were in the first one.
There was,
So-
yes, but different.
And but I still recognize some of them.
Sure, okay.
So
And that's
I know
fine.
he added the extra stuff to it, but I just thought it was too long.
I mean, my thing about it is out of all of the characters, Cyborg is the one that gets the most.
He's pretty much the person like right in the middle because he's connected to the mother boxes.
He is, of
Well,
course.
we already
But
know.
we don't need that much of him in it because we know it's like so he's like.
But we
he's
already
like
know
the
this.
golden
I don't want to see
thing
when it
between-
comes to Justice League, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. I've known the origin story from each one of them since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So we all know we know that. So we
Okay,
don't
yes.
need again. Well, we didn't
Maybe a
get.
hint toward how Flash got his powers. Maybe
Yeah.
like a 2-minute thing right there, 3 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
we
mean,
know about Flash too.
I know, but at least show how how it happened.
Yeah. Okay.
but I do agree that the film is elongated to the nth degree when it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And I think Zack Snyder is not one to trim the fat. Put it that way.
That's fine. That's his movie.
And that's his movie, and he's welcome to do that. But we're also welcome to criticize it and to talk about it.
I mean, I'm not really criticizing it.
No,
I'm just giving my, what I think.
We're our opinion.
I just,
and we're
I
welcome
didn't
to
use
it.
that word, but yeah.
I mean,
But the idea in my mind is like there's certain scenes here, like as much as I love the extended stuff, like there's certain scenes where it's like there's even more slow-mo and it's even more like there's like scenes where it's like
say that
like
with the Lois Lane stuff.
literally it's like
Yeah. You were waiting to do that, weren't you?
That's how I normally act a lot of the time.
Hey,
But I
Hey,
think,
Barry Allen.
like I said, some of the stuff with the Lois Lane stuff, I thought that was way too stretched out.
I thought the Lois Lane was, and I actually do agree with you because there's a whole scene actually towards.
She's taking a cup of coffee to where it happens.
And there's one scene where I was not a big fan of it. I understand why it's in the movie. Is that when the big scenes towards the end of the movie and they're fighting and everything and getting ready to go into battle, there's a whole scene where Superman is in a cornfield and he's talking to Lois and he's talking to his mother and
that's in the first movie too.
yes,
Cut down to like the most
cut
minimal.
down. I think this was a little bit more extended, but
Yeah, but it was still at least. Yeah, but if it's in the first movie, then it's Whedon, right? So he
well,
just extended Whedon's parts. It seems like.
or maybe Whedon cut down Zack Snyder's part. It's
Okay.
possible. It's possible.
You can give and
It's
take
kind of
from
hard
each.
to remember what bleeds into the film.
He's into one or the other. But what I will say though is that when we're ramping up, as far as like the action and everything,
And Superman's hanging out and.
yeah, it kind of feels a little bit
Like,
out of place. I mean, I understand why.
He's like, this is the bad guy. I'm like, and I'm like, yeah.
I
I
mean-
felt like they were like doing nothing in this film.
I mean,
you know?
again, it's cool stuff, but to get there was a little bit complicated. What I will ultimately say is that, without really giving so much away here, is the fact that we have seen long movies. We were in the movie theater seeing Avengers Endgame,
Yes.
and
that movie.
That was fast.
it moved
for
fast.
almost a
Yes.
What was that? Almost a 4 hour. movie?
No, it was like 300. Was it 3
Three
hours and
and a half
45?
hours?
3:45.
It was.
pretty close
It
to
was.
four.
It was damn. It was. And
But every second of that movie, just like, no matter what scene you're in, you're just like, it kept me.
Yes.
It kept me glued to the screen. It's like,
and
I felt the emotional fallout for that film.
I don't know if I could say the same for this. As much as I do prefer it.
I mean,
I mean-
with the stuff with the whole Wonder Woman thing, I was glad to see Themyscira again. See that they had, Amazon are no pushovers.
Sure, and by the way, I loved that they extended those scenes and made them more brutal. I mean, by the way, this is an R-rated cut. This is not a PG-13 cut, so you do
it
see
was
F words.
brutal.
there's a few F words. There's a little more brutality
That's
in
fine,
it.
that's perfect.
And that's perfect. That's fine.
Even when
There's no
you get
problem
to
with
We're
that.
okay with
the
it.
major fights, when they're trying to get to the city to stop Steppenwolf, it felt more extended, more brutal, more
Yes.
like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to stop this guy in time.
But I like that, and I think it works extremely well, man. And look, let me ask you this. Do you think all of the characters, outside of Cyborg, do you think they all got improved by this cut of
Only
the
one I
film?
can say, in my personal opinion, I'm vaguing on the Batman right now because it's been like literally weeks since we've seen this. So.
Yeah.
I think the best one out of all of them who got the best extended cuts and the extended times was Wonder Woman's character through her.
Yes, I do think Wonder Woman got some really good stuff.
Kinda...
I think Flash got a little bit better.
Flash did too.
Flash did too. Flash got.
Flash.
You could even say Aquaman for
just a little bit, but Aquaman not as much. I mean, he still had some scenes that definitely was not in the Justice League cut. There was certain things with.
Well, that and the side character for Aquaman was the Mera character.
Yes.
Completely different.
Yeah, so there is a whole turnaround here. I mean, do you agree with that, John, or do you think that not any of the characters really got much extended?
I think Flash.
Yeah, and I agree because
Flash definitely. You showed
because when he's like doing that at the end stuff, when he's like running,
father,
and the father stuff, I think is a little more extended.
Yeah,
but he got especially the end when he's running, and like he's literally changing time.
Yeah.
And tapping into the Speed Force.
Yes, and doing that, like that was not in the Joss Whedon cut. He was in the Joss Whedon cut. He's saving some sort of Russian family or something.
Yeah, him and Superman were trying to save all the civilians that they can. There.
Like that was a whole different thing. Like this is like. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god! Why wouldn't they put that in this fucking movie?"
I don't know. Probably.
I mean,
it's almost a pointless plot point.
It's not because it bleeds into what will hopefully become Flashpoint at some point. Yeah. At some point down the line.
Well, there was other major difference back in the early part of the movie that. Remember when Diana's telling them about the war with Steppenwolf and all that? They changed that thing completely on that part.
Oh, yeah, that was a whole completely different change. Different scene done, man.
I mean, seeing Darkseid for the first time, I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
They did I will say this, they did good on the CGI for him.
I will admit, like, I don't know, because you're as much of a comic book lover as I am, John.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of Darkseid, obviously you have an image in your head.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the translation?
Darkseid... Look good.
I
thought Steppenwolf looked good too. His new armor in this one was way better.
Way better.
Did you notice when
it was like breathing?
You look at his armor; it's like alive.
Yeah, it's sort like moving.
Sort of like how the mother boxes like vibrate and you see them moving. It's sort of like that.
Yeah, he reacts from it. Or...
I did notice one thing on here.
What?
Because I was looking at YouTube and they're talking about certain points. You notice when we see two character surprises from Wonder Woman, you see Zeus and you see Ares in this one.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Ares, he wounded Darkseid.
Yes.
And I noticed on the thing on YouTube, if you look very closely, he still has the wound from that attack. He does not heal from it.
Darkseid does.
I mean, it's healed, but it's still...
It's noticeable.
Yeah. I was like, if those gods were powerful enough to take him on...
Ooh. That's interesting.
Like, now that they're gone... I mean, pretty much like you said, Superman and Wonder Woman are only major threats that he's got.
Yeah, I got to admit, man, that,
even that fight scene was a lot more brutal than I was expecting.
It was much more brutal. It was much more extended. It felt almost like an epic scene out of, like, Lord of the Rings or something. It felt
like the beginning of the Lord of the Rings.
Like if it felt like the riders of Rohan and Gandalf or some shit is gonna come right through there, man. Gandalf the White is gonna run through with his fucking horse. I thought that, but I think it just adds to the overall experience and it makes it a much more different film. And I think at the end of the day, I think these scenes, especially the scenes with Darkseid, are the ones that make the film what it is. It makes it even more special than what we got.
See it.
Yes, it makes
what we were looking for in the first one.
Exactly, and it's just the stuff we didn't get, and here they actually delivered. Some of the bigger differences, I think, compared to the Whedon cut versus the Snyder cut. First of all, we didn't bring it up, but Black Suit Superman. Yes, Black Suit Superman.
You get a whole scene where he goes in the ship and you see the various suits from before.
That's really cool. Come on. Come on,
I'll
man.
give you that.
Black Suit Superman is really cool. And as somebody who is a fan of this old school Superman comic books, who grew up at that certain time frame where they did have Black Suit Superman, I loved it. It was like
How old school was it when he had his black costume?
It was probably, I would say, mid 90s. Early to
That's
mid
The
90s.
how
only
old
time I've
school
ever
is
seen
that,
him in
though?
that was the one.
For
that-
me, it's old school.
Yeah.
Only thing I ever
For
seen
me,
him
it's
in-
old
No,
school.
for you, but
For me, it
yeah,
is.
yeah. I'm going by my old school, and he didn't have black.
Okay,
The only
yes,
time I ever
but
saw him in the
mean-
black suit was in the one animation movie, and maybe
I'm sure in the
TV,
comics
one of
it's
the TV
sometime,
shows that they had.
yeah. I mean, they
That's
had
about
that.
it.
I really love that suit was.
It's just weird. I mean, I don't mind the black costume.
Okay.
But it's just weird seeing him with it in this.
Yeah, because we're all. So
Is it
used
weird
to-
because you're so used to the other
Yeah.
costume that you can't get used
Yeah,
to the
'cause
black
I don't-
suit?
I'm trying to remember when I saw him with his black costume years ago, but
Sure.
I mean,
I
I
mean-
wasn't getting. I wasn't into that much Superman comics.
I guess.
I did read some newer ones about 2 years ago. I liked,
Sure.
but I stopped collecting, so it was just.
I mean, I think I think what this movie does well is it deepens the mythology more. Whether it's Darkseid, whether it's obviously his realm, whether it's the anti-life equation, which, by the way, is really cool, and it's something that's I don't believe was in the Whedon cut, or if it
No.
was,
Yeah, they
I
didn't
wasn't.
bring that up at
They,
all.
they didn't bring that up at all. Which, by the way,
original was just about invading Earth, taking it over. And all
yes. And this is so much more. It's so much more in depth, and it's so much more richer as far as the story and the characters. But at the end of the day, it's also the expense of a 4-hour cut of the movie.
Like
And-
you said, this movie could have been cut down to probably anywhere from like 3.5, maybe even 3 hours.
Yes, it could have been. I mean, that's the thing about it at the end of the day. I mean, you know, you were talking, John, to us at some point about the idea that, you know, that scene with Flash is cool, right? Where he's running and he's, changing time and,
Yeah.
and you name it. But then again, you know, I remember you sitting down and are like,
Yes.
We
Like-
get up
like,
and come
I
back.
thought it was just
come
too
on.
long.
yeah.
It was
Like-
it was too. I didn't mind the extended parts, but there's just some extended parts that were way too long, and I thought 2 minutes. It's like, what am I seeing here?
Just like seeing everything get reformed. I'm like, could have just
That's
done like
fine.
a quick
That's fine.
flash,
if you
you know?
Yeah, but I just wish they would have sped up some parts.
Yeah, he could have done like
It's
he's
too-
running really fast
like
like
that.
this, and then, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I think in a certain way, it's like, okay, come on, man.
I
Put some
start to
pep in
lose
your
interest
step or
when it gets
something.
like that.
Yes, because there's something to be said about. See, what is it? I guess that I would say is the difference between if you're gonna take this Zack Snyder Justice League cut versus, let's not even say Avengers Endgame. Let's say the original Avengers.
Still a great movie.
Yes, but if you look at the action scenes, what makes, if we're gonna say the Avengers, a better action, end scene where it's like, quick, versus a Zack Snyder Justice League cut at the end with the big action scene where it's a little bit more extended, it's a little bit more drawn out. Is that the problem? Is that it doesn't know when to it does know when to stop.
Oh, you could say for the Avengers thing, I felt more interested. I felt more invested into that movie.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
These characters in Justice League, I was like, oh, they're doing this. I was like, it shouldn't be that much of a battle, but somehow it is. And
But here's the interesting thing about this movie.
Marvel, I think, those parts in Avengers were just enough time.
yeah,
Okay.
It wasn't overextended.
It didn't feel like it was.
It got to the point.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. It was perfect timing.
Okay.
And the
You
fight
know,
scenes
I
were
mean,
just enough.
they were more. I could remember
Well,
more. 'Cause,
Yes.
And
I think that for me is the big thing about it because, it's interesting looking at this film in a retrospect way, because when Justice League came out, we had gotten Man of Steel, we
Yep.
had gotten BVS, and that was it at that point. Now,
Then it was Wonder Woman.
yeah, but I think
That was after.
Wonder Woman came out after. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's interesting.
Same with Aquaman too.
It's interesting looking at this film now. Do you think this film benefits from the fact that those other films have come out? That Aquaman came out and Wonder Woman came out, and you kind of know the characters more.
Yeah.
Like the way that this movie portrays certain characters, like it contradicts the other movies.
They didn't connect. You mean the origin? The
The whole
origin
thing with
stories.
Barrow was completely changed compared to the Aquaman.
Okay, yes, completely changed.
I can't remember any others. That was pretty much
All
my
the
main one
it's
too.
like all the Marvel movies were connected.
Yeah.
Yes.
Each one led to the next movie.
You know, Man of Steel, Batman. Well, Batman didn't have his own movie.
Not yet, yeah.
So they were a whole different entity by themselves.
Yeah.
It didn't connect. I agree. I wish it did connect.
Yes, but do you feel a better connection now with the movie having Wonder Woman and Aquaman and all those other ones out, or does it still feel disjointed and disconnected, regardless of whether those movies came out or not?
Ooh.
Like I said, certain stuff got changed around, and it
yeah.
kind of contradicts those movies.
Well, Snyder didn't go with the other movies.
No.
So, I don't know. It did feel weird that it didn't connect.
Okay.
I wish it did connect.
I wish it did a little bit
It did a little
better.
more, but
Probably would have improved the movie a little bit.
But I think it connects pretty well to what Snyder wanted to do going forward.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, if you look
different
at...
actors, different producers, and we're doing the different movies, right? Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Man of Steel is different.
Well,
Different producers and stuff, right?
Well, that's the thing about it, right? Because Snyder has said that he wanted to make a Justice League 2 and a Justice League 3.
I thought he's not doing it now.
Well, they don't have any plans for it, but I guess he wanted to make them, and he wanted to put Darkseid in, and of course, you know, make him the big bad, and of course, you know, the anti-life equation and everything. So I mean, he put
That's kind of what you said this movie.
yes.
Now.
So he set up all the little droplets in this movie
For a second one.
For a second one, and
It kind of works, but it kind of doesn't.
how so?
Well, for the kind of part, you know who you're going up against. Why he's doing this.
Absolutely.
The part that doesn't work is like, even though they defeated Steppenwolf, which, by the way, that was a long shot at best. They got to go up against Darkseid, and Darkseid was able to go toe to toe with the old gods.
True, but then
The
again,
closest one they got in power is pretty much Superman and Wonder Woman.
I mean, you have Wonder Woman who has the power of the Amazon gods. You have Superman, of course. Of course, that's
The
easy.
only other real fighters they've got. I mean, Flash. All he does is push people around and have that.
Yes, but as we saw, John, he can also manipulate time.
Yes, he can.
So he has
but
that power.
That was a one-shot deal. We don't know if he knows how to do that again.
We don't know, but there is a possibility. And then you also have Aquaman, who has
He's probably the only real decent fighter they have, other than Wonder
but
Woman and Batman.
but the one
Yeah.
person we're forgetting about that is a great foil against Darkseid and could easily defeat him is Bruce Wayne Batman. I mean, I mean clearly. I mean, the man's superpower is that he's rich. So I mean,
He's
Yeah.
rich. I don't know if he can buy Darkseid out. I don't think Darkseid really gives shit about money.
I mean, I
Sure he
mean,
can. He'll just buy him some good retirement property in Florida.
exactly.
Shit, let's go to Florida.
I mean, Shady Acres.
He'll
go
have his feet
anywhere
up
in
on his
Florida
chair
right
and be
now.
I
like,
mean, Jesus, man.
"What do you mean you didn't get my orange juice right? Omega Beam."
Oh, I'll make him. Whee!
Wow.
He stares at the nurse's ass and he'll. Whee!
Gotta use it
Like,
for
who
something
sapped
good.
my ass? You know, the only other thing I could say about the whole dark side thing is
Yeah.
if you do notice, I mean, if you really are paying attention to the
Yeah.
movie, is when he goes back to his planet, you notice the one character on his right was Granny Goodness, who's one of his like lieutenants.
Oh yes, you see a lot of very interesting characters that are like in the background, and it's always fascinating because they could always have a bigger meaning later on, but of course that's if we were to ever have gotten the next Justice League movies, and well, at this point it seems highly unlikely. Speaking of even newer stuff, we gotta talk about, because if we don't, let's, come on.
Okay.
We gotta do it, and that is the alternate ending future scene. Now, if you remember in Batman vs. Superman, Bruce Wayne has this
Nightmare about the Flash.
nightmare about, like, the Flash is coming through time to warn him that Lois is the key or something. And we don't know what it means. We have no idea what was this just all in his head? Was he having a nightmare? Was this real?
You get
What?
some of the nightmare where the future's all fucked.
And now we get a little bit more in the Zack Snyder version, where there's literally a scene now where who is it? It's Batman, it's Mira, it's
The Flash.
it's the
you got
Flash,
Joker.
and the Joker.
And
Yeah.
you got what's his name? Forget his name now. Joe Mantel's character.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. Yes.
Yeah, Wade Wilson. Or
And so you have them all here, right? And there's a future where it feels like Darkseid has taken over the world, and perhaps he's gotten the anti-life equation. It's possible.
And basically, the world's a wasteland.
Wasteland at this point. And basically what ends up happening is that they talk about certain things, like, like Mira talks about Aquaman in past tense.
And
Like,
you get to see some of those scenes with those characters.
yes, and the idea that basically Aquaman is dead and Wonder Woman is dead,
Yeah.
and
Killed by Darkseid.
Killed by Darkseid, and the idea that they're going to do something, to finish a plan, and
You don't really get a hint toward it, but
hint toward that there's something there, and basically you get even more extended stuff with obviously the Joker here.
No.
Well, look, I'm not gonna lie. We're not gonna mince words here. John knows this as well as I do. When we saw the Suicide Squad, when we saw Jared Leto's Joker, I think we were all we know that's a lame ass Joker.
there are only two Jokers I think
Yeah.
are redeemable.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson, of
Okay.
course. Come on.
Of course.
Nicholson.
Nicholson. It's awesome.
And I thought Heath Ledger's version was pretty good.
Yes. He's actually pretty good too.
Everybody else
So
is trash.
everyone else is trash.
No. You think the last Joker was trash?
Joaquin Phoenix?
Really?
Okay.
I thought he was a
didn't
great
really
Joker.
Yeah.
Here's
Cesar
where we
Romero?
disagree. I didn't think he was a decent Joker in my
Okay.
opinion.
Wow. Okay. Well. No. It's interesting.
Cesar
This is
Romero?
where we divide.
Yes, Cesar Romero. That's fine with the division, but I think we could all agree that Jared Leto was one of the weaker ones, by far.
Yeah, he wasn't
Easily.
the best. Yeah,
Easily.
Yeah.
Did this scene, especially the Joker here, they changed him up a little bit with the longer hair, with a little bit of a different makeup stuff?
It looked like he was drinking too much fruit punch with that mouth.
He just had longer hair, white face with
And a little bit more Joker
and
features.
crusty teeth.
And do you think that's... Did you like what they did with Joker in this film, that alternate future scene, compared to what you had seen in Suicide Squad?
He was actually shorter in this one.
What, the...
You think he was shorter in this, in Justice League? The other one, he was different parts.
Yes.
I remember.
He had, what, like 10, 15 minutes compared to this one?
Yeah, but they were never going to extend him. Like, it was always just going to be this little future thing that he did. But I liked that it was a little bit of a nugget type of thing. I thought it was kind of cool.
It didn't blow me away. I mean...
But if you had to say it was better than what you saw in Suicide Squad, I think you would probably say
anything
yeah.
was better than Suicide Squad.
I mean, yeah.
But Throwing Up was better than Suicide Squad.
And mind you, I have to commit this.
No.
I'm taking back this last part. I didn't get to see that version of Joker.
Okay.
So I'm taking back that part.
Okay.
But we'll see it eventually.
I just
Okay.
thought it was just there. The scene in the Justice League, it It was
Felt
just
kinda-
there. I don't think it was
Did-
anything special. I mean,
But do you think it like
it
lays?
was better.
Do you think it lays the groundwork for something that could come in the future if they were to do it? The idea that basically he says to Batman, "Oh, you know
Why you
about."
send a boy to do a man?
Yeah, about Robin, and of course killing Robin,
I
and,
guarantee they're
and
probably gonna do some kind of flashback with that if they do another movie.
and then the idea of how you find out, it kind of subtly hinting that the fact that Batman was the one to maybe take out Lois, that maybe the idea
What,
that
in the alternate future?
yes, and the idea that he possibly did that, and the idea that that turned Superman, and there's a whole structure there of a power play that I
here's my
like.
whole hint for that thing.
Okay.
The whole thing with Dark Superman, whatever
Yes.
you want to call it. I think he got manipulated by Darkseid, and he was getting, he's trying to fight it. Then somehow Lois got killed in the crossfire between him and Batman, and that's
Okay.
probably what made him go full dark.
It's possible. I thought it was a nice little nugget of a scene. Does it belong in the movie? That's up for debate, because I don't know if it did. It's one of those scenes where it's kind of like at the end of like Marvel movies and the end tag scene.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that
After credit
that it
scenes.
hints
Yeah,
at.
I don't think there's been one for those that we haven't been disappointed on.
True, but I don't know if I was disappointed by this one. But it kind of felt maybe a little out of place. But I thought it was still a unique scene for that. And also, I gotta bring up Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Because we gotta bring up Martian Manhunter, man. Because I know for you, John, you have told me constantly. You said Justice League has Martian Manhunter in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of the Justice
He's one
League,
of the 7.
Yeah.
and so
Green Lantern too.
well, yes.
Cyborg was the later on.
Same thing
So-
with like Hawkman and the others.
Hawkman was. I think
Was he
Hawkman
one
was.
of the- I don't remember if he was one of the original
I'm
7.
trying to think. Was it Jeff Garrett?
Remember.
I'm trying. It's Justice Society.
Okay,
I
that
thought
might.
it was
Maybe
Justice
yeah,
Society.
it might be
Version
just
of
idea.
Justice
Yes,
So you
yeah,
definitely
okay.
Google that. I mean, Final Frontier. You've seen Final Frontier, right?
I don't
I
remember.
think it's
I've
Final
seen so many
Frontier.
animation ones. It's hard to
Yeah,
remember.
wait,
all.
is it called the Final Frontier? I can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they had the original
yes.
Justice League in it. So I'm trying to remember. I haven't seen it in a while.
Here's
Martian
getting
Manhunter.
Back to the Martian Manhunter. One of my points. I think I have
Sure.
to point up.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing to this entire film? If he wants to help,
Well,
where was he?
if you remember, Zack Snyder actually says in an interview, he says that Martian Manhunter was there all along in Man of Steel.
Clips of the movie, but
In Man of Steel and BVS, he was always there. He played. He was meant to be one of the generals
yeah,
there.
he was that general in the original Justice League. I think it was the Batman vs Superman, where she's investigating that bullet. He played that general.
Yes, and even in this new version, there's this scene with Lois and Clark's
Martha.
mom. And in the Justice League, the Whedon version, you actually get that scene, but it stays.
Cut down.
It's cut down, but you don't know that it's Martian Manhunter. And here they actually like change it up that it's Martian Manhunter.
It's like as soon as you see the eyes glow, it's like that's Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. I mean, were you excited for Martian Manhunter?
Very. I love the Martian Man. I love everything. All the animated and the stuff I saw of Martian Manhunter, I really liked them.
He's like the second most powerful member that they have there. I mean, he's the ones that can go toe to toe with Superman.
Sure.
Plus, he's got all those mental powers too.
Yeah.
Did Martian Manhunter deliver in this movie?
Nope.
I wish they showed more of him. I wish he was actually part of the fights.
Okay, because basically,
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point of
What
him
is
in
the
the last
point?
2 minutes of the film?
I guess my question is that what Zack Snyder is doing here is that he's putting
He's setting it for another movie.
He's putting in place all these different
But
elements.
I could swear recently he says he's not doing a 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
but so you then say, why put him in here if you're not going to, or was it cool just to see him for the sake of seeing him?
I don't want to. I want to see him in the movie. I don't mind. Marvel done that too before, where they
Sure,
have like one
yes.
person, but eventually you'll see that person.
Yes.
And you might not see Martian Manhunter again.
Yeah.
But I just wish he was in it.
Yeah,
I
it's
said it 8
Would've been
times.
more
I still wish
effective to
Green
have.
Lantern was in it.
Yeah,
I mean, I like Green Lantern.
Yes, I do too, and I think they will get to Green Lantern eventually, but
As
it's
long as it's not like the Ryan Reynolds cut.
yeah. Well, geez,
They
I know. I
won't.
The
mean,
only good part about that movie was the guy that played Sinestro.
this is true. I mean, but what I will say is, as far as like Martian Manhunter, it's cool that he's in here. The design could have been a little bit
Seen
better.
better.
I mean, could have been more green.
More
I mean,
alien.
He just looked like a
Look like he got bad
What,
seafood
like
or
he
something.
scales or
I
something.
guess what he looked like is he looked like
He looked like a ghost.
Like
or
a snake
something,
a little
like
bit?
Revenant.
I guess if I had to say he looked like when guacamole is starting to go
Yeah,
bad
when
and
it
like
oxidizes.
yeah.
It goes
Looks
from
like what the
green to
Hulk would
like
puke out.
black. Yeah,
Black.
if you don't mix the guacamole, it's
Isn't that what the
gonna,
Hulk's diarrhea looks like?
we're talking food here. Seth had a good analogy with avocado.
And you had to just
I had to put
you had
it
to
in there.
fuck it up. And,
How do you know his shit's green?
He's green. What do you expect?
Well, I'm white. Do I shit white?
Probably. I don't know you. I don't know what you eat. This one shit bullshit.
Where'd that come from?
where?
Just in general knowledge.
What a shithead.
With all these little nuggets that are in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the alternate future scene, whether it's Martian Manhunter, whether there's little nuggets with Lois Lane whether it's the pregnancy test or stuff with Aquaman or the Flash. I mean, there's a lot of nuggets here. Are we ever going to see a Justice League 2 and 3? Are we ever going to see that materialize?
Probably years from now at least. That's if he can get the
I'm on the
actors
side of
contracted
no.
for it.
The only reason why I say that is because Warner Brothers, the executives came out recently in an interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they said they are not going to continue the Zack Snyder universe. They're just not going to do it. And
Too
Zack...
much will happen, you know? Too much baloney.
Well, the problem that I have, and I want to know what your guys' opinion is, because I was all for this cut coming out, right? I was all for it because I thought it was important to do it. I'm glad the fans got it, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the problem with this is that now you've opened the door, right? You've literally opened the door. The fans have now seen Zack Snyder's cut. They've seen what it is. They've seen Darkseid. They've seen the potential for what the future can hold. And the problem is now, can you put the genie back in the bottle again? Can you do that? Or because now it's out, eventually the fans, are they going to just deal with what you give them? Or are they now like, you've given us this look. Why are you going to now take it away from us? I mean, that's an interesting thing.
Well, the rumors that have been going on since the first one
Yes.
is that Jason Momoa is not doing Aquaman. Remember that when you got
Yeah, there was a whole thing. There was a whole thing. And
last thing I heard, I don't know if it's true, that they don't want him.
well, I've heard they're going to do it. I heard they're going to do an Aquaman too. I
haven't heard anything about that. Batman. Every other month is Ben Affleck going to do it? He was fired. He's back. It's just a drama. I mean, and then Henry Cavill.
This guy right here.
And Cavill, which
And,
I loved him as Superman in Justice League.
But now there's like, will he, won't he? There's like, obviously they're doing the Robert Pattinson
it's annoying.
Batman.
It's really annoying because
the HBO Max stuff is they're gonna do something with Ben Affleck possibly. I mean, there's all these rumors.
They're probably gonna reboot everything again.
But isn't that the problem, Bob?
That is a problem.
Isn't that the
I
problem?
mean, how many times have they rebooted?
Yeah, but if they do,
Batman
see, you don't
alone?
even know what's going on.
Yeah.
There's just they just talk.
But let me ask you this, like again, like it's great to see this cut out here finally for people.
Yeah,
but,
I understand.
But at the end of the day, you put this cut out there, and then the executives are saying, "Well, we just did it to put it out there, and we're not going to do anything with it."
Executives are just about money.
I agree with you.
So maybe they just want it out there for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they
Towards the
did
future, I don't
because HBO Max and the streaming service, and I understand it. But at the end of the day, though, you're literally giving fans false hope now.
Well, it's like a lot of these actors. They're not gonna want to play these roles forever. They're gonna want to do other shit.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, you gave us a shitty Justice League movie. You gave us a better one now, and now you're saying we're just gonna ignore it. That's a tough sell for fans, man, because now you want to go into another Wonder Woman movie and another Aquaman movie and another Shazam and
keep the actors keep going.
and where is this all heading? Where is it all going?
I don't think
and
they have a freaking
they don't
clue
have a
what's
plan.
Well, it's
they don't have
other
a plan.
movies, like with Hugh Jackman with Logan. You know, he wanted to end it right there, right then. He's like, I'm getting too old to play the role anymore. This is my final movie. I'm done.
And then there was rumors that he was going to show up, come back.
Yes,
And he said, from what I heard a while ago, he says, I would bring him back if he's in the Marvel Universe.
He did say something like that.
I don't know if
again, will they, won't they? This is a comic book thing, man. It happens all the time in comic book movies. But DC has now become one of the biggest ones that are guilty of it, of just not having a direction whatsoever. The movie has its problems. We talked about them. But it has a lot of good points to it as well. And to just ignore that is a big problem. But
look at the Marvel Universe. A lot of these actors sign long-term contracts to play these roles up to a certain point.
Yes.
It's like with Chris Evans as Captain America. He's like, oh, I'm only going to do it for so long. It's like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it.
Sure.
But, every film is like, oh, is this going to be his last one,
Who knows what's going to happen with the DC Universe at this point? But
look at how many different versions of Batman alone we've had.
I know.
There's another one coming with Robert Pattinson, so.
I know. So as far as I'm concerned...
They said they might have another Batman down the road.
They might. Look, DC has no plans, and that's what we're trying to say. We're trying to say that DC has no plans.
No long-term anyway.
No long-term anyway, and this
At least Marvel thought it out.
This movie was a great opportunity for them to do that, and they just didn't pull through the way that I think fans were hoping for. But with that being said, look, the film is out there. And we're happy the fans get to experience it. We're happy that we got to experience it. But the big question is, what is our final thoughts and grade rating? John, what is your final thought and grade rating on Zack Snyder?
Final thought, I have to watch it again.
Okay.
All right.
So you're not even giving a grade.
I need to watch it again.
Okay.
Just like a blank.
No, I need to watch it again.
Okay.
Like I said, it's 4 hours. It's a long movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a very.
I mean, I'm not making excuses. I mean, Endgame was over 3.5. But
But
I was intrigued. I need to watch this movie again.
Let me ask you this though.
If it yeah.
I mean, just off of the one time that you watched it, what would your thought? Not even a grade rating, but what would your final thought be of like this?
There were very good parts.
Okay.
And there were parts I did not like. Were too long and boring for me.
Okay.
So, I don't know what to rate it.
That's fine.
I need to watch it again sometime.
That's fine. You just need to take it in more, and I understand that.
I need to take it in. It's going to be released on 4K. I don't know if they came up with a date.
I believe it's in May.
Oh, it's coming out in May?
I
really?
believe, yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
gonna have to buy it and watch it again.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
Sorry,
that's fine.
So it's a lot. I think it's a movie I have to watch again.
I mean, you had 4 years on the shelf, to get it up to this point. I'm like, figure, of course they're gonna get it out as quickly as possible.
So I can respect that, John. I can respect it.
Okay. I would love to give a rating right now. I know people are probably saying, "Oh, but."
No,
I want to watch it again,
and I totally understand.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna give it a C minus, C plus, whatever I give it.
I respect it. I do.
Maybe when I watch it again, I'll tell you, and if I do another stream,
I'll
do another one. If you ever ask again, I'll do it.
Awesome, cool.
Or if you do one by yourself, like you usually do,
Okay, cool.
I'll keep an update.
I'm kind of with John about the whole grading. It's like, I'll probably never watch this movie again.
Okay.
Because honestly, it's too damn long. I mean, they could have cut at least an hour off this movie.
Okay. You are under the thing of okay, this is just too damn long.
The problem is, like we said with the Endgame or any of the other movies that Marvel played that were very long movies.
Yeah.
They kept you interested. This movie was all over the place.
Okay.
I mean, there were certain things I liked, like the stuff with the Amazons, some of the Wonder Woman scenes or the extended fight scenes.
Darkseid.
I like how they did him in CGI.
Okay.
that's the only positive CGI one. I like the Steppenwolf new design. I thought that was a lot better.
Okay. Of course, extra added cyborg.
Cyborg, I was like I said, we didn't need a super ton with Cyborg. Like I said, we could cut his time in half.
Okay.
I mean, kept the crucial parts, yes.
Okay.
But other than that, I felt like they were stretching it too long.
Okay.
Same thing with the Lois Lane stuff. I'm like, I get it. She's mourning her dead lover and all that. Possible father of her child. And, you know, the whole stuff with her just doing the slow-mo, getting through the day. So I was like, they could have cut at least a good 2/3 of that off.
Okay.
The one thing I really hated was the whole Martian Manhunter setup that they were doing with him. I didn't like the design of it because, like you said, he looked fucking weird, basically. A lot of the characters, I felt like it just felt like they weren't really committed. I mean, the other one didn't feel like they were really committed either, but at least they were trying.
Okay.
In this one.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, Aquaman was decent for what he had, but I think some of the stuff he had was just like contradicting his Aquaman movie.
Yeah, it got a little shortchanged, yeah.
Whole stuff with Steppenwolf and Darkseid. And yeah, it does lead up to a potential another movie. But, you know, that could be years down the road, if that, even if they decide to do one.
Okay.
You know, that, like I said, you don't even know if these actors are going to be committed that long. You know, if they rechange the characters, or the actors who play them, it's like you have to do a whole version of them. So or you're going to continue with those stories.
So you don't have a grade rating?
Honestly, no, because, I mean...
Damn!
This movie was just that long, and it's just hard to keep concentrating. I mean, I had more concentration in this than we did the Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay.
John was practically catatonic through most of the film.
No, he wasn't.
I
watched the whole damn thing.
He did. He just wanted to be catatonic. So, I guess it's up to me now, guys.
Yes.
I guess it's up to me. Look.
He's the master of the universe in this one.
I'm gonna be
Seth. Sorry.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna be honest, man. This movie was I actually never thought we were gonna get this movie. To be fair, I mean, I always thought that this movie was going to be a sort of myth,
like
a pipe dream, a fanboy pipe dream. But you guys made it happen. You guys literally, you know, petitioned your ass off and made this thing happen, and just that alone makes this movie worth it. Just for that, man. But I gotta admit, you know, it's stretched out way too long. And, you know, yes, there's certain great parts here, but they could have cut this down. And at the end of the day, it feels like a really great fan edit of a movie. And I don't know if there's anything more past that. But for me, if I'm going to give this a grade rating, I'm going to have to give it, for me, at least on the surface. I'm going to have to watch it more, and I'm going to have to dive into it more, but I'm going to give it a solid... I'm going to give it a solid B, is what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a solid B, and...
That's a shocker.
It's a shocker, but I feel that this movie, with some of the difficulties that this movie has, and some of the issues, I still feel that it's a more fleshed out version, it's a more in-depth version, and it gives the DCEU a place to go in the future where the other Justice League movie just didn't do, and I think for that alone, this movie, at least to me, is vastly more worth it than anything that Joss Whedon could have done. Dun 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 dun.
What the hell are you supposed to be?
Superman, the Resurrection. Yes. People thought that, you know, Henry Cavill was good. Dude.
Well,
they don't know what they're missing, dude. Look at this.
No, they do know what they're missing.
Look at this. Look at this. Look how jacked I am. God damn,
you know
dude.
all fake, right?
Dude, what are you talking about fake, dude? I'm fucking jacked. Look at this.
You don't have a six-pack. You got a cake.
Dude, like compared to you guys, I'm like the strongest man in the world. You guys are puny compared to me, dude.
I'm fine with you.
Good I'm glad.
His daughter could beat you up.
Wow. I don't know about that, but
I would literally. Boop. She just falls down. Wouldn't even.
oh, that's really cool.
You wouldn't even take me.
Pushing down a 10-month jail, baby.
Hey,
Yeah, really tough.
Yeah.
Superman.
You
Yeah,
gotta-
you're really
you-
for the people, right?
You gotta end up establishing
Yeah,
dominance
but then-
early, okay?
Oh,
You
okay.
get those dominance
but
early.
you would
Okay?
And
give
I
no-
shove kryptonite up your ass.
Hey,
How would that feel?
Superman.
Oh, I think probably not like that.
Superman, you
Ah,
know
you
you're gonna
might, I
have two
don't know.
supervillains to deal with, right?
Yes, I've got these two knuckleheads.
Yeah.
The next Lex Luthor right here, plus his woman.
Well, he
I
is.
don't want to play Lex Luthor.
Why? I mean,
You can't do
you're
any
bald,
worse than the
man.
last
I mean,
Lex
No.
Luthor.
What's that?
Couldn't do any worse than the last one.
Well, that's true. That is pretty dumb.
that was pretty bad. I mean, guys,
You rung the bell.
guys, if you prefer me as Superman over what we got, definitely let me know. I mean, I am literally like packing heat right now with my
I'll
guns,
be burning up in that suit.
with my fucking 6-pack. Dude, no one can challenge my ass, dude. These guys definitely can't challenge my ass. That's for damn. Ah!
Yeah, right. Man of Steel, more like Man of Plastic. He's dead. Superman's dead. I killed him. Oh, I forgot you're the generic value Superman.
I don't know what to do. I'm just.
Plausible deniability right there.
I'm just sitting here.
People won't even help me.
It's Superman.
And they're supposed to be my friends.
It's Superman. That you win.
We're not the one who wants to fight a 10-month-old.
Yeah, but I thought I had a shot.
Nope.
One punch, she'll knock you out. You can do it. I just kicked your ass and I didn't even try.
I was faking it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, definitely give this a thumbs up. Let us know what you think of the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. How does it compare to Joss Whedon's cut? Where do you think the DCEU is going to go from here? It's all very complicated, isn't it? But as long
Get
as...
your wig on. Kind of remind me of Gene Hackman's version of Lex Luthor. I got hair.
You said you dipshit. My God.
We'll see you back
Whatever.
next time for a brand new review. Take care, everybody.
Go up and away. Go away. Wish.
I thought so. Take it.
Stop your whining. Bye.
Take care, everybody.